Good morning. We're going to continue on the sixth paragraph of what the Rambam, of what the Rebbe says in the first Sicha. The Rebbe will be explaining the two diukim, the two emphases of the text of the Rambam that we mentioned in Ois Daled and Ois Hey, where it says Af Ba'ari Miklot, and then the other one of B'shnei HaMashiachim, which we also had in Ois Beis. So the Rebbe starts as follows: Yuvan Zeh Behektim. We will understand this through prefacing Bahasbar Shnei Diyuki B'shtei HaHalacha Shel Achar. So we'll understand this through prefacing two diyukim in the next, and Halacha Gimel and Halacha in Halacha Gimel of the Rambam. Because of Rambam, the Rambam writes, Val Yala al Daidcha, that it should not come onto a person's mind, Shamalach HaMashiach, that Malach HaMashiach Tzarech Lasis Oisus Umayfsim, that Mashiach has to do miracles and wonders, and he has to make something new in the world, or he has to resurrect the dead, or things of the like. In earlier prints of the Rambam, it says over there after that the fools say. However, in the Rambams afterwards, due to the censoring, they took it out. That's not the way that it's going to. That's not so. Shaharei Rebbe Kiva Chulu. However, we know that Rebbe Kiva, who was from the greatest of the Tanoim, he carried Bar Kochva or Ben Kuziva. He carried Bar Kochva's adornments and his clothes for war, and he said that he is Moshiach. As the Rambam finishes off over there, that Rebbe Kiva held that Bar Kochva was Moshiach until he was killed at war. And the Chachamim then who said that Ben Kuziva is Mashiach, they did not ask him to do any miracle or the like. The main thing of this idea of Mashiach is, what we're trying to get to is as follows: that the Torah and its statutes and its mitzvahs are not changeable. And again, there was a part here in the Rambam that was taken out by the censors, being that, as the Rebbe points out, it's possible that it's referring to Isaiah-ish, that in those prints it said Ein Chukei Mushpatel Mishtanim Mishtana, that the statutes of the Torah does not change, and the Christians changed parts of the Torah, and those who change it are a Badoi Rosh of Apikodes, as the Rambam continues. But in Mesif and Alain, we don't add to Torah, we do not take away. And then the next section is what was taken away due to the censors, but in earlier prints of the Rambam, it did have that version of Chol HaMoisef, and someone who adds or subtracts from the Torah, or someone who revealed Torah or wanted to teach Torah, not its simple meaning, or took words of Torah out of their simple, straightforward meaning. He's for sure a Badoi and a Rosh and Apikodes. Now the Rebbe continues, and this, that in the continuation of the halacha, derech HaMelech HaMashiach, in regards to Melech HaMashiach, Messiah Rambam, the Rambam concludes, And this, that the main thing that we're trying to bring out over here, that the Torah doesn't change. Mashma l'chora, it's seemingly understood. So it seemingly comes out that one who says the Mashiach doesn't have to do miracles is adding or subtracting from the Torah. That's what it would simply mean from the fact that the Rambam brings that part in continuation, that he says the Mashiach doesn't have to do miracles, and then he says that the Torah is the way that it is, and we don't add it, we don't subtract. So it basically means if someone says the Mashiach does have to do miracles, then he's adding or subtracting from Torah. So what's the connection between the two inyanim? This is the Rambam says the Mashiach doesn't have to do miracles, and then he says that then he says about that the Torah is law the way that it is, and we don't add it, we don't subtract to Torah. What's the connection between those two things that the Rambam brings down? And even more than that, when a Gael in regards to a prophet, the Rambam writes, that a prophet who comes and says that Hashem sent him, and he doesn't have to do any of the miracles like Moshe Rabbeinu, Eliyahu, or Elisha, Sheish Be'em Shinim and Hagush Ha'elam, that those miracles changed nature. For example, Kriyas Yamsuf, or Eliyahu by Har Carmel, that the fire burnt the water, or Elisha, that he resurrected the dead by the Shunamas. Sheish Be'em Shinim and Hagush Ha'elam Ella Ha'ishalai. But his thing is that he's going to say things that are going to, he's prophesizing things that are going to happen. They're going to believe his things. Remember that it says, and the Rambam brings a proof for that. Even though over there he negates the prophet doing a miracle, we'll leave the curse of Shem over there where the Rambam is speaking about the characteristics of a prophet. He doesn't say over there where he says that he doesn't have to do a miracle or a wonder. He doesn't continue, and like he says over here, that the Torah is not changeable, and on the contrary, he says over there that the prophet does have to say something. He has to foretell what is going to be in the future. So the two diukim are: number one, what's the connection between the Rambam saying that Moshiach doesn't have to do miracles, and why does the Rambam continue by saying that the Torah doesn't change? And even more than that, why doesn't the Rambam continue? Why doesn't the Rambam continue like he does over here, that the Torah is not changeable? And on the contrary, he says that the Navi does have to say something that is going to happen. And Mr. Hashem, tomorrow we will continue paragraph 7.